In tonight's Fifth Gear, an Aston Martin that's been driven by two famous people. One J. Bond and one Tina Dowell.
The Aston Martin Vanquish. £160,000. Over 400 horsepower. Good for nearly 200 miles an hour. A truly awesome machine. And that was before it had these, and these. Now that's what I call options. After a 15-year gap, James Bond is back in an Aston Martin, and in his 20th film, Die Another Day, he's going head-to-head with a Jaguar XKR. And I'm here on the set of Die Another Day with both those cars. In theory, 007 should have no problem trouncing the villain's convertible XKR with his 450 horsepower V12. But just to make sure, they've added those little options, courtesy of Q Branch. However, for the very first time, the baddie's got gadgets as well, and he's got twice as many of them. There are rockets in the front. Rockets in both side doors. A lethal Gatling gun on the back. And grenade launchers in the boot. The huge arsenals on these cars are real props, real mechanics, and not just the work of a clever computer. And this is where they're created, the special effects workshop at Pinewood Studios. And yes, those are 4 identical Aston Martin Vanquishes and a couple of XKRs being modified for their individual roles. Each Bond film needs to be bigger and more spectacular than the last, so the challenge to create ever better gadgets must be met.
We deal with gadgets. You know, I've dealt with gadgets for I've done the last 7 Bond films now. I have been called the real-life Q. I am one of many Qs. There's 110 of us on the crew. There's some jolly clever chaps on the crew.
The biggest challenge on Die Another Day was that the main car chase was to be filmed on a frozen lake in Hoffen, Iceland. The Aston and the Jag are both rear-wheel drive, but the Bond team wanted 4-wheel drive for maximum traction.
We spoke with Aston Martin and Jaguar. I mean, initially, I thought, well, we'll just ask them for a 4-wheel drive version. And upon sitting down round a table with them, it was quite apparent there was no such beast or even anything even being thought of. So then it was really, let's sit down and see how we can make this work out.
That's your standard V12, what you buy at every Aston Martin dealer. And this is what we've done to that. Taken out that lovely Cosworth V12. Good old iron, small block Ford. We pushed the engine as far back as we possibly could. We knew there were gadgets going in the front, so it left room for that. It also left us room to get another axle in to get the 4-wheel drive in. And then it's just a matter of threading your drive shafts around all that to get it to work.
Modifying the stunt cars cost £1.25 million. But even then, there is only so much you can do to stop a car sliding.
During the ice chase in Hoffen, we did have an argument with an iceberg with a Vanquish, and the iceberg unfortunately won.
We was doing a shot where we was going through between 2 glaciers, a gap of about 16 foot, which we wanted to take it through sideways. And we couldn't wreck in this area because we had a small snowfall and we didn't want to walk on it. Came through there and the back end of the car clipped an iceberg and it ended in tears, basically. 4 days off with a lump on my head.
I can't believe how hard icebergs are. I should have realised after seeing Titanic.
Back in July, Fifth Gear was invited to the Pinewood Studios backlot to witness the filming of one of the main action sequences in the latest Bond film, Die Another Day. Action Unit Director Vic Armstrong was busy setting the scene for one of the most dramatic stunt sequences in the film.
This behind me is the exterior of the Ice Palace, which I've shot the whole car chase on a frozen lake in Hoffen, which is east of Reykjavik in Iceland. And this is the exterior piece. Now, this is the moment the cars come off the ice lake and they burst into the interior of this Ice Palace. So on the way in, they take out the two skidoos in foreground. And then later on, we will have the end of the sequence, having done a whole chase inside the Ice Palace. It'll burst out through the wall and do, like, we've measured out about a 50-foot jump. We've got a double pipe ramp, so it'll jump about 50 foot and hopefully you don't bend it too much.
The car will need to hit this pipe ramp at exactly the right speed in order to smash through the wall and land in the right place. For stunt driver Ray DeHaan, it requires a steely nerve and maximum concentration, while for the Aston, there are yet more modifications.
Although we've removed the real screen, we've still got to protect Ray when he's going through the wall on the jump. So we put in a 10mm macrolon screen that's bolted in so none of the debris can actually get to him. We've got runners under the car to protect the underside of the car when he runs up the tube ramp. And we've raised the car slightly just to help it on its way again. For him inside, we've rolled the seat back so he's laying down, 5-point harness. It just makes it easier for him when the car, if we do have a very heavy landing, then it's not going to jar his back or anything like that. He's strapped in wearing a hat and everything's padded that we can pad, so hopefully he'll be safe.
Conditions must be perfect before the 5 cameras used to capture the stunt can actually roll. Extra snow has been positioned to cushion the car's landing, and Ray has the opportunity of a few practice runs backstage. Only when Ray had satisfied himself that the setup was perfect was he happy to take his starting position.
Okay, Jonathan. And turn over. And action!
Very good, that's very good, isn't it? Definitely blew it up, but it's a nice level landing, wasn't it? Yeah. 2-wheel landing. Lovely. Yeah. Okay. Move on. Well done, Ray. Thank you very much.
The car's modifications had done their job and the Vanquish had come through unscathed. Well, almost.